Today I'm getting a putter fitting. I'm at Club Champion in Bradenton, Florida, and I'm gonna show you the experience. I've never done this before, but I'm trying to become a scratch golfer, and right now my short game is horrendous. And so to try to fix my short game, I'm gonna first get fitted for a putter. So Dominic, you've been doing this for how many years?
7.5 with Club Champion.
Think you can improve my putting?
I know we can.
Okay, so this is kind of intimidating to me. I've done a club fitting before. We have that video up from the IMG Academy, but that was just wedges through driver. So we're gonna see if I can fix my putting today by having the right equipment. I'm super excited to announce that I'm giving away a $500 gift card to the PGA Superstore. Now all you have to do to enter the giveaway is simply subscribe to my channel. If you're already subscribed, you don't have to do anything. If you're not subscribed yet, smash that subscribe button right now and you'll be entered. We're gonna be announcing the winner soon. Super excited for this. Please subscribe, and now back to your regularly scheduled programming. I'm new at all this, so take it away.
Excellent, Paul. Welcome to Club Champion. So it looks like today you brought your gamer, your Scotty Cameron Newport, right? It's a blade style putter. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna let the SAM PuttLab know what we're putting with. Right? SAM PuttLab uses up to 28 different data points, similar to how the TrackMan tracks ball flight and swing. Right? So this is essentially our TrackMan for the putting simulation, right? So what we're gonna do is let this thing know exactly what your Scotty is. We wanna know what the length is, the loft, and the lie angle is, right? So first thing we'll do is we'll get length, and usually length is going to be done from the center of the club face, usually right by that sight line, to the end of the grip. So right now, we're looking like Paul's at about 34 inches of length. We'll pop it into loft and lie over here. And this vise just simply holds the putter head into place so that way there's no movement or manipulation. Now all of our Club Champion loft and lie machines are calibrated to 0 degrees aloft and 70 on the lie. So regardless of what Club Champion location you go to, all of our loft and lies should read the same to each other. So from here, pretty standard stuff for Scotty Cameron. Let's explain what standard pretty means. Right? Okay. Most putters right out of the factory can range anywhere from, let's say, 2 to 4 degrees aloft. Very similar to how a driver can be anywhere from 8 to 12 degrees aloft. Now in a swinging club, the purpose of loft is to get a desired launch and spin window, right? Otherwise, we're not going to get the right carry distance, we're not going to get the right landing angle, we won't get the right total distance. Now in a putter, we're not swinging this, but we are hitting the ball. So at the end of the day, we do need a desired launch and spin window, which we will get into there. Now Scotty Cameron's a little unique because most Scotty Camerons do come in right about 4 degrees of loft. This Mitchell Loft lie machine is digital and it uses 1/4 degrees of measurement increments. So if we are about 3 3/4 degrees, to be completely honest, I'd round up a little bit just to say it's 4 degrees from what we know about Scotty Cameron and their standard.
Okay.
So in the laptop, we're gonna tell it that it's 4 degrees aloft and 71 on the lie angle, which again can be referring to whether or not the golfer is setting up toe up or toe down through impact. We'll get into that variation as well.
Okay.
But for a putter, right out of the factory, for somebody who I believe has never been fit for a putter before.
First time.
So this is pretty standard stuff, nothing that's eye-opening or crazy. So what I'll do from here, Paul, is I'm going to take this little device, this little triplet, and it helps the machine pick up your stroke and your arc. And what we'll be able to do from here is have you hit some practice putts to get used to our speed of the green and the weight of the device. The device does add just a touch of weight. And while you're hitting those practice putts, I'll get your specs typed into the laptop there.
Okay.
All right, here you go, buddy.
All right, thank you.
You got it. Now to get warmed up, you don't necessarily have to put the balls on the black dot, but it's helpful if you'd like to. That's where we'll have them during the fitting.
Yeah.
And we'll just let Sam know what you're working with.
So while he types that in, I'll let you guys know, my handicap's fluctuated between a 4 and a 6 over the last couple decades. I was playing like once or twice a year for a while, and I moved to Florida and I started playing a lot now. I've never had a handicap that's like a 3 or lower. That's my goal though, is to become a scratch golfer. And so look at that. Oh, short. That's why I'm here to get a putter fitting today, because I'm thinking if I get the right putter and then I practice, maybe I can get down to a 3 and then a 2 and then a 1, and then I'll be playing in the Creative Classic.
Well, that's the thing is, like, genuinely, there's some amateurs that I'll fit, and then I'll ask them this question. I think I'm joking, but I'll ask them, I'm like, are you averaging right around 28, 29 putts? Because if you're not, there's definitely work to be done there. Now, technically speaking, right around 30, we'd all take that. But about 40% of your strokes are right here on the greens. And the better you get, well, the more up and down and one putts we need to be doing. Oh yeah. Now, as you're getting warmed up, I know it can vary on the greens and how we're doing day to day, but do you have a consistent directional miss, like left or right?
I usually miss it to the right.
Okay.
and I miss it a lot. You can ask Josiah, our cameraman. And that's the other thing about our videos. Josiah is behind the camera. We show every shot, right, Josiah? Yes, so if I make it, I make it. If I miss it, I miss it. So our channel is about as authentic as you can get.
That's respectable.
Some of these jokers on the internet, I'm watching, I'm like, I want to see this guy. You know, come to Sarasota. Let's have Josiah film. We'll see how good you are.
A couple of quick edits where you're like, quick cuts where you're
but
like,
I have Josiah's a man of integrity. We show them all, and I miss them a lot.
I love it. That's the only way to get better. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself, right?
Yeah. So, but my point is, I miss more than I make, and Josiah knows about that. That's usually what I miss.
Like that right there.
Short and right.
Short and right. No problem. All right, so first thing we're going to do is let's make sure that this is aligned to the center of the cup, right? Because alignment's important with putting. So what we'll do is we're going to pull this guy out, all right? And we've got this guy right here, and that is pretty bang on to the flag, isn't it? But let's move it just a little bit. Okay, so now let's calibrate your putter to that line, yeah? Excellent, yep, and I'm just going to hold it a little bit more flush there. Perfect. And on the TV, you'll see it's just doing a calibration, and when that fills up, boom, we're good to go. So you can go ahead and relax. You're live now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place the balls on that black dot, and you can line them up if you'd like, but all we'll need is 7 putts here, okay? You can go at your own pace. You can do practice putts if you'd like.
That would have went in, but it hit the other ball that was already in.
Well, it's not regulation, you know. It's not.
How fast are these greens?
I need to get a stimp meter to be sure, to be honest with you. But I'm thinking right around 10-ish.
Okay. Who's your favorite YouTube golfers?
Paul Jameson. I knew you'd like that. No, sincerely, I do like Grant a lot. Heck of a player. I like the Bryan brothers. Although I do think it's a little loaded to call them YouTube players, being that, you know, they both played in tour events and one of them holds a tour card. But they're still fun to watch for sure. So here comes some fun analytics. So the first thing we're going to look at is that we're going to go through about 7 slides here. Okay, and you can ask questions as we go through. I'm filled with verbal diarrhea, so I'll just keep rambling otherwise, right? But the first thing we're going to look at is a bird's eye view of your putting stroke. And this little picture is a good little legend or key for us to get an idea of what we're looking at here. So we had you place the ball on the black dot. This black dot is represented right there. And what we're looking at here is to see if whether or not Paul has a little bit of an arc in his stroke where we kind of rotate it open to shut, or whether or not we are more straight back and straight through. Now, according to the machine, it's saying that his arc is very strong, meaning that we kind of fan the putter open and then fan it shut through impact. Now, on each one of these, it's fairly minimal, though. I don't really see that much bend on each one of these. And I think that's actually relative to what you do with your face rotation, saying that we have reduced rotation right now. Through impact, saying that we have a 1.3 degrees per second, 10 centimeters before impact. After impact, it's 1.1. So this is just a itty bitty deceleration, just a little bit, but that's not a bad thing. Some of the world's best putters have like a 1-to-1 ratio there when it comes to a little bit of decel through impact, especially on faster greens. They're using the weight of the putter head a little bit more. And on average, this is saying that the putter face angle is 0.0 closed. Now that's going to be to target. We're going to talk about what your face angle is to path, which in putter fitting is arguably going to be a little bit more important. But right now, based on your path as well as your face rotation, it's saying more of a mallet or a square. Now that's interesting to spit that out, because usually a stronger arc, historically speaking, would be more of a blade style putter. So as we go through some of these other slides, hopefully we learn a little bit more about the modern putter fitting and how we do fittings on a dynamic level, meaning what does the golfer do at impact, right? So you coming from a blade style head, one switch up the machine is messing with right now is maybe we should increase that head size, right? Now a mallet style head can be anything from, technically speaking, this is kind of mallety in its aspect right there, but truly like going towards like a TaylorMade Spider or that kind of a style might fit your arc type a little better.
Cool. Right. And I'm coming in with whatever you recommend. That's what we did for the wedges through driver. Brand agnostic. Yeah. So I have Titleist wedges, Ping wedges, and then Ping irons, and then a Cobra hybrid, Callaway 3-wood, and TaylorMade drivers. So
that's fantastic.
I am, whatever the analytics say is what I'll choose for my new putter and everything, and whatever you recommend and the system recommends is what we're going to go with.
The great thing about this is as we go through the slideshow, and I love to hear that too, as we go through the slideshow, the idea is whether it's TaylorMade, Scotty Cameron, Even Roll, or Odyssey, whoever it is, the idea is that everyone's going to make a putter for Paul. Yeah. This is just going to help identify what that head can look like and what the neck can look like.
No, I love it, and I could care less what brand. I'm trying to make more putts.
I love it. So the first slide, it's saying we need to go from a blade to a mallet style head. And again, that's mainly based off of that face rotation and a little bit of your arc. And the second variable we're going to be looking at is going to be heavily influenced by the neck or the hosel of the putter. Okay. And this is recommending a face balanced putter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about pretty much what a face balanced putter is and what a putter with toe hang is, all right? Let's do this. I like using these models because this is fun. The machine has spit out a mallet style head. So I grabbed 2 TaylorMade Spiders Tours from this year in their head style, which cosmetically are the exact same club head. And even if we were to look at the bottom of them right there, you'll see that the bottom of those putters, the verbiage is exactly the same. If we look a little closely, the main difference is the hosels, right? Now, if we were to let these guys right behind you there, Paul, if we let this guy balance like that, you can see how this putter face is hanging at what we would call probably like a 45-ish degree angle. And this has, if anything, 0 or maybe just a touch of hang to it, but we'll call it pretty much 0. We call this a face balanced putter right here. And the main reason why this is balanced this way is because of its double bend shaft. The first bend point of this shaft is aimed at the center of the putter. As a result, the weight distribution of this putter sits face balanced. When we look at a slant neck putter, where the shaft meets the hosel is more heel oriented. As a result, the weight of this putter wants to hang like that. And we call this toe hang. Now, the importance of toe hang, it can come in variable different degrees. It could be around 45 degrees. It could go all the way up to 90 degrees with complete heel shafted putters here, like that. Now, the significance of this is the more toe hang you have, the more the putter face wants to fan open on the inside and stay open through impact. So when this machine recommends a face balanced putter, it's usually for somebody who pushes their putts as a miss. And we were talking about that a little earlier, right? And what's funny is the machine doesn't have ears, right? What's cool is that it's picking up your stroke and it's saying relative to your club path, your face is 4 degrees open to your path. Most likely leaving putts weak to the right. Now let's take a look at your Scotty, right? We know it's a blade style putter head, so we know according to the machine it's not gonna fit you per se, but let's ignore that. Let's pay attention to the hosel and the toe hang, right? And if we put that up here as well and see where that ranks up in our little system of toe hang here, has a little bit more than the TaylorMade, a little bit less than the Wilson. So we'd say a 45 to 60 degree angle. And being that you do not have a face balanced putter, I would recommend looking at more face balanced putters. And the reason why I like showing folks this kind of thing and this kind of surface is it shows I'm not manipulating any of the head weights with my hands or anything, right? They genuinely hang like this. And it's also important to see because for the uneducated golfer, if we're just farting around at a big box store and hitting some putts on a green, and I like this one, if we needed more or less toe hang or no toe hang and heavy toe hang and we didn't know that, we have a 50% chance of picking up the improper putt.
And that's how I got this. I went to the big box store and rolled a couple putts and thought about Tiger in his prime using it, and I was like, all right, this is it. And then I feel like my putting got worse.
And now here's the fun thing, is that, I mean, it's kind of a blanket generic statement, but it is fairly true. About like 20 years ago, up to 20 years ago, pretty much only blades had a lot of toe hang, and usually a lot of mallets were mainly face balanced, with very few exceptions. Nowadays, we kind of have a hodgepodge and a who's who. And this is why we have blades like this guy, who have a single bend shaft in it, and who will sit more face balanced.
Wow.
Right? So what's cool about this is that these vendors are paying attention to people getting fit, right? And so now they're making putter heads and shafts that used to never exist 20, 15 years ago even. So that's where nowadays we have face balance blades, we have mallets with toe hang to them. So according to the machine, why would we need a mallet? Well, mallet would keep you more on plane, and they are more forgiving putters. Majority of the tour is now in mallets, so there's nothing wrong with that. But from there, having the toe hang to match is going to align your face through impact a lot better. So for example, this is one example out of several other putters we will try from other vendors that would fit you in theory.
So that one's better for me than this one?
Correct.
Okay.
Because putters with hang to them, fan open, better for somebody who pulls their putts.
And I'm already pushing it. Got
Correct.
it.
So this would technically exaggerate your issue.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that Scotty wasn't helping me either.
That's correct.
That's why I was missing a lot to the right.
In theory, that's exactly right. Is that equipment-wise, that Scotty is fighting, which you naturally do.
And Josiah, you film with me every week. Do you feel like they usually miss to the right, or?
Most of the time, yeah. If you have a miss, it will go right.
Yeah.
And then that's actually where what's really cool about Scotty too is for the longest time, specifically in their Phantom line, like the whole number models, like the Phantom 5, 7, 11, they're more often than not more face balanced because they're single bend shafts. And the 5.5, 7.5, the half model numbers, those are the same exact heads, but they have some toe hang to them. So that way they have something for everybody. So we have one example out of some more we're going to put aside in a second here. We're just going to crank through some more slides here. So on average, we're asking to aim at the center of the cup there, and you do a pretty darn good job of that. When we look at the tour average of the face angle, that's what this little gray area is right here, right? So some of the world's best putters do not set up on 0-0, right? Some of them set up a little open like you, a little open. Some are a little shut, and that tolerance is within about a degree, right? Now, you do align a touch open, and your face from there rotates to shut to target. So it is saying maybe we need to change the hosel of the club. Now, good news for us, that kind of kills two birds with one stone. Changing the neck or hosel, because those terms are interchangeable. So changing that is going to change the toe hang. So it's going to change your face angle through impact for the better. But in theory, it could also just straighten that out just a touch more as well at setup. If we're better at setup, we're going to be better at impact. So that's pretty cool that hammers that home. The machine doesn't have a camera on it, so it's going to rely on us to do length, and we'll do that shortly here. And we're going to reference the lie angle screen in a minute to do that. So we'll get into length shortly. Loft. So here's a fun thing. We're talking about loft of the putter over there, right? And it is pretty standard, about 3 to 4 degrees. Not shocking, similar to somebody bringing in a 10-degree driver, let's say, right? It's not out of this world. And with your loft at 4 degrees, what we need to do, just like a swinging club, is look at what the golfer does at impact. There's some people who hit up on the putter. Some people hit down on it. Some people add loft, some people de-loft. What you do is you hit 0.7 degrees down on the putter. But what's interesting is, according to the machine, we add a little bit of loft with that. So essentially, as we're coming through impact, the putter head is moving downwards, but we are adding loft, right? Now, at the end of the day, when we look at what those variables do at impact, it makes the loft of your putter 4.6, right? Now, where should you be? You should be 1.5 to 3.
Wow.
So right now, your ball wants to spin backwards, coming up a little shorter.
Oh yeah.
Weak sided.
Yeah.
Right? And especially in Florida, because here's the cool thing, is this machine doesn't know how fast or slow the green is. And this machine is saying, based on a stimp of 10, we essentially need 2 degrees of loft, right? So right now, if you're putting on anything faster than 10s, which a lot of these higher end clubs are down here in general, especially in the winter time in Florida where everything's just dry and everything rolls quick, we're definitely going to need less loft on your putter. So right now, the putter head hinders you quite a bit. The hosel definitely does with the toe hang, and the loft definitely needs to come down. And this is just going to help promote more top spin and better pace. And honestly, it could also help get your ball started on line a little bit better.
Let's go.
Yeah, right, dude? Yeah. So
I already feel like my handicap's a 3.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is really cool to see. Like some people, I've had all golfers of all skill levels who might be unaware of the putter fits just kind of come in and they're like, it's a putter. How much can it really affect? And I'm like, dude, that's the one club you're pulling on every single hole. You know, it's 40% of all of your strokes statistically. Why wouldn't we spend a little bit of time on it? And especially because nowadays, a lot of folks are worried about like aftermarket shafts, aftermarket grips, and how that impacts performance. Well, with putters, unless you're looking at a specific boutique aftermarket shaft, a lot of these guys are going to be out of the factory, same cost retail here as it is everywhere, including loft and lie adjustments, right? So at the end of the day, it just makes sense to spend some time, get some analytics. Lie angle. Now here's what's interesting, is that on average, this is saying that your toe up about 0.3 degrees. To give you a reference, this is measuring whether or not Paul is toe up, toe down like that, right? And on average, it's saying you're barely half a degree toe up, and you're within tolerance because on the analysis, it's saying your lie level is perfect. Now the impact's a little high in the face, right? Now that's a indication or relative to the fact that you hit down on the ball a little bit. Just like a swinging club, if we hit down on the ball a little too much, your impacts are most likely going to be centered to higher on the club. Somebody who sweeps at it or hits up on the ball is probably going to be center to thin, right? So this isn't bad, but you're not on the sweet spot, right? So this is also going to kind of hammer home a mallet style head, because mallets are more forgiving on off-center misses. Now we got one more variable to look at before we mess around with some new putters, and that's gonna be grip size. Now the machine is unaware of how big or small your grip is. So when this thing spits out a normal grip, what it's trying to say is that it likes the size that we did the analysis with.
Okay.
If you wanted to go a touch larger, you could. That's only gonna benefit your wrist rotation, right? But at the end of the day, you do a really good job of the amount of rotation in your stroke, referencing that face angle from the beginning. The machine believes if somebody is over-arcing or over-rotating, a bigger grip can help them. And if their lack of consistency is there, then we need a bigger grip too for consistency. But right now, relative to tour averages, we are in the 74th percentile when it comes to the total amount of face rotation in your stroke. And you repeat it darn near 3/4 of the time, right? The overall consistency is a little low because only one of these through your forward swing, this green guy, was a variable, but it's actually pretty darn consistent relative to tour average. So grip size, you can be a little pickier. There's some people where we need to talk them into a fatter grip or kind of ease their way into a fatter grip because they're used to the itty bitty guys. Or sometimes that recommends going to an undersized or smaller than what they have. But right now, when it comes to grip, we can spend some time at the end if we find a putter that excites us. But my goal from here is kind of like the eye doctor. This machine has given us the prescription. I'm gonna grab you some frames.
One or two?
Right, that's exactly right, right? So, and for us, your Scotty Cameron Newport's a blade with about 60 degrees of toe hang and a full shaft of offset in the hosel, 34 inches of length, 4 degrees of loft, and 71 lie. And it wants us in a mallet or square style head, those terms can be interchangeable, face balanced in its toe hang, and when it comes to loft and lie, same lie angle but a stronger loft. Now some of the demos are going to be 35 inches, you have 34. If we settle in on a putter you like, we can then begin to tweak length a little bit. But I'm not going to worry about length all that much here because we're just going to go through and test out some different head styles. My goal is to set aside the putters from these different brands and see if there's a look, sound, or feel that you like, because those are the three things I can't measure, but something that you respond to. And now, by the way, on that note too, on the cosmetics, you're welcome to take a browse around and see if there's any putters out there that you think you wouldn't mind trying as well.
I'm gonna let you, I don't wanna influence anything. You're the expert. You pick out based off all this. So I didn't do that good in science class, so I feel like I'm back in the lab in science, but it's more fun than that.
Yes,
thing.
that's exactly right, man. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm just setting aside some putters that according to the machine will fit Paul to the tee, but we just get to actually go through and hit some putts and test some look, sound, and feel. Some of these are milled putters, some of them have face inserts to them, which actually have some technology behind them as well. But as I set some aside, you're welcome to go through, hit some putts with each of these. You can have as many or as few with each of them as you'd like. Again, we're kind of just frame testing here. Right?
Got Scotty Cameron.
Oh yeah.
Odyssey, Mizuno, TaylorMade,
And Cobra.
Cobra.
I'd say we're a little brand agnostic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why these companies name I don't like snakes, so why they named it Cobra. I don't like spiders.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, that's a good point.
But
yeah.
I don't work in marketing there, but I would have named it something like more not scary, you know? 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't
exactly
like snakes and
right.
spiders. I don't know what they could have named it. Maybe ask ChatGPT, name a putter that's not scary animal.
That would be actually hilarious. The tailor-made Pomeranian. There we go.
So Scotty Cameron, that's like an actual man named Scotty Cameron? Is that?
Yeah, so Scotty Cameron, actually, he works for Titleist.
Okay.
So typically a lot of those PGA Tour players that are Titleist staffers are typically going to have a Scotty Cameron in the bag there as well. So he is the milling artist that actually designs all those heads. Now, I wonder if, as time's gone on, if he has more of a team that does it and he has a couple of special projects, but historically he was the guy, yes sir.
Okay. Now, I'll share with you what I like about this one and what I don't like about this one. I like it a lot, the way it feels and looks. I'm used to picking my ball up.
Yeah.
So you can't do that with
Yeah,
this?
you can't do that with that one. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, unless you got one of those little devices you could put in the cap of the grip, where it's like a claw, and then you.
Yeah, I don't
turn the
really like that.
Exactly.
But I mean, my whole career, I used to use the White Hot by Odyssey.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So that would.
Yeah, you had like the little back to scoop it up.
Yeah, and then
so
the-
that might actually eliminate these two.
Well,
but
that's
we'll
not the biggest like deal breaker, but I'm just saying my whole entire career. I'll show you what I mean. Like, let's say, can you hold this
Oh,
on
yeah.
thing? Let's say I missed a putt and I'm playing with my buddy, and he's like, "Take it away," or "That's good," or we got our little sayings for gimmies.
Yeah.
I just go like that, and I'm so used to that.
And now you're not gonna be able to do
So
that.
now
right?
I'm gonna have to, my back. I was, long story short, I got hit by a car a long time ago, and my back's not it's improving, but it ain't the easiest for me to always bend over. So that's a little bit of an issue, but it's not a huge issue. If I'm putting better,
I hear you. It's not the non-starter, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I got you.
But I still, every time the ball goes in the hole, I gotta bend over and pick it up. I don't want my back to go out on the
I
course.
feel you there. So now let's switch it up a little bit, because you can pick up the ball with that.
Okay. Now this one looks kind of funny though to me. I really liked that. I mean, I really liked that one. I was just
Like the shape
mentally,
of?
yeah, just mentally figuring out if I don't want to be able to scoop my ball up.
It's a good sound to it.
When you say it's got a good sound, what are you kind of listening for?
Just usually you have putters that can sound either a little clickier off the face, which I personally like because it gives you a little bit more feedback, and then there are some putters out there that sound a little bit more muted, which actually you might feel here in one of these other guys.
I like this one as well. So I can pick. Oh, I see. I can pick it up with this.
Got a little hook on it.
Yeah, literally though.
Yeah.
Yep. But head style wise, that's where in the Odyssey 7, like there's a lot of pros that, like similar to Scotty Scheffler and Rory, will use this head style. They have different hosels, but same head style in the TaylorMade Spider, right? When it comes to that, that's like Xander Schauffele's kind of style. Okay. But he does have a little different plumber's neck in there, and he's a slightly older model, but that same style model in the 7. Yeah.
I would put those at a tie.
Okay, cool. So I have people make a like and dislike pile as well, right? So that's a fun stuff.
Those are both likes.
All right.
My only thing with this one is the name.
Spider. See, arachnophobia is just getting after you.
Well,
man.
no, I don't like spiders, and I don't like snakes, and I don't know if I'd want to like. I do like the way this looks, though.
It does look cool.
Yeah, it felt good too, man. Why don't they name it something?
That's usually how that works too. Is the ones that folks are like, I don't know about this, and then you hit it, and you're like, oh, I love it. Yeah, I like those options.
Man, and they're going, feeling good, looking good. What pros use this one?
So Scotty, Rory, Jay Day used the old one for a long time. I think he's since converted that one off the top of my head. I'm not entirely sure though. I got to look into that one. But that head style has been very common for a very long time. And that's also why with TaylorMade they have like, you would be great for the double bend because it's face balanced. Scheffler uses the L neck or the plumber's neck. Rory has the slant neck if I'm not mistaken. So what's great is they have that head style to match the archetype and the forgiveness, but the different hosels to match the stroke and the face
Yeah,
miss.
I like that one a lot too. So far, I like them all.
We're cranking. Here you go.
Might come down to Dominic picks because that's what we did at, we got fitted for the clubs at IMG, and Mike Grega, I just kind of, you pick, Mike, you pick.
So we're going to talk about inserts versus milling in a second here, and hopefully that can help clear some things up too.
Who uses this one?
Genuinely, no one that I know of off the top of my head.
Okay.
I wanted to give you something that's just a brand new option that's hit our floor recently as well. That's face balanced, a milled putter similar to like that Scotty Cameron in the aspect that it's milled. But genuinely, you're one of my first guys to actually hit that, so I kind of wanted you to guinea pig that for me, selfishly.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
So that definitely has a different sound to it, doesn't it? Yeah. Now, here's a fun thing too, is that you have putters out there that are milled, right? Like this guy.
Yeah.
That guy, you can see how the face is entirely like one piece of metal milled down, right? And then you have inserts, like this guy right here. We have the white insert. This one has that copper insert in there as well, right? So essentially, whenever we talk about milled putters, typically, there's actually not a lot of technology in these to help you, right? Meaning, to use a swinging club analogy, like let's use an iron analogy, like an old school forged blade, how it feels good when you hit the sweet spot, right? But there's not a lot of tech in there to help you on a miss hit. That's kind of what a lot of milled putters historically are. They feel great, they look great, and the sound is there, but there's not as much tech behind the head. Like if we were to talk about the Odyssey or the TaylorMade, Odyssey has these cool little windows in their blades. That's the actual shape of the club face and behind the putter face, where it's kind of waved like that. And according to Odyssey, with the help of AI, they were able to determine how to expand the sweet spot on off-center misses. So there's an actual reason why inserts exist. It's to actually have some technology behind the club face in one aspect or another.
Okay.
TaylorMade's got the Pure Roll, which has been a very consistent putter face for a long time for feel and sound and forgiveness. Odyssey has their AI1 face, which they have in their white hot and their milled face over there as well. So you do have certain caveats where some folks put a premium on look, sound, or feel versus technology, right? But at the end of the day, that's where, if we are trying to lower some index and take advantage of technology, I would lean you towards an insert putter.
Okay, so then that's going to put Scotty in the...
That's going to put him in the doghouse.
Sorry, Scotty.
Yeah.
If you're watching, Mr. Cameron.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We have had some famous people watch our videos, so you never know who's
But
watching.
this is actually, it's not, I might just shout at myself in the foot right there. Right? But no, so these three are pretty fun to look at because we have three different technologies in them. We have the Pure Roll face insert, we have the AI1 with the wave face, and then Cobra, because years back when Bryson was with Cobra, they have something called, it used to be called the SICK descending loft, is now called LA Golf descending loft. But essentially, the Cobra face inserts, which you're going to try, says LA Golf descending loft on the bottom, and essentially their belief is that instead of having the loft of your putter at 2 degrees, let's say, the putter should go from 4 degrees to 3 degrees to 2 to 1. So the loft descends down the club face. And the belief with that is that it doesn't matter if the golfer hits up on the ball or down on the ball or level, you should get the same roll, right? So we have three putters that are very different feels, fairly different in their looks too, but I sincerely think that if we're gonna narrow down based off technology and trying to get better performance, those would be probably the best three that we got in here right
Yeah, and
now.
I haven't tried this one yet.
You have not, yeah, so go ahead and give that a whirl.
In my heart, coming in, this is the kind of mallet that I wanted, but I didn't want to lead with that. I wanted the technology and the analytics to guide me there.
Perfect, yeah.
How does this one sound?
Now that, to be honest with you, I don't want to influence you too much with that.
I want you to influence me.
Okay then.
Good, bad, or just honest.
I like that a lot.
You do.
I do, because to me that sounds firmer, or maybe louder is a better word to use. I'm trying to hear that. Hopefully you can hear it through the mic a little bit, but that'd be, yeah. But yeah, they do have slightly different sounds to them. But I think that if it is a little louder or firmer like that, I think it'll respond. You will respond as a golfer to impact better.
Now the one
And that's
thing,
the same head style as well.
Yeah, the one thing that I do like about this is back to my back. I'm not bending over as much unless I make a putt, but how does this one sound?
That sounds real good too, because these all do have like a little bit of that louder sound through impact, which I like, but they're also have some technology in them. That's another good one too. How does that feel different to the Cobra? Or they are fairly similar?
I mean, I'm not an expert like you, so they feel pretty similar to me. Is this the one Scotty Scheffler uses?
It is, yep. Again, just a different hosel to it. Scheffler uses the plumber's neck to it, but it's the same exact head.
So you got them narrowed down to these three, is that?
I do,
Okay.
I do. I sincerely think like it's a win-win-win. And honestly speaking, like for some folks, price could be an option. Like I believe that Odyssey's probably be closer to $400. TaylorMade, I believe, is $349. The Cobra, I believe, is $300. So sometimes price is matters, right? But at the end of the day, this is kind of like my equivalent of typing into ChatGPT best putter for Paul.
Yeah.
And then these three kind of pop up based on your analytics, right? So, and I'm not offended either way if you're like, hey, I like the TaylorMade, or I only like one of these three, or I don't like any.
I like all. I like all three of them.
All right. So this is where, honestly speaking, you could just spend either a little bit more time with either makes or misses, or I've had some people hit putts with their eyes closed with them and went that way too. But yeah, and if I was you personally, honestly speaking, that Cobra is great for stylistically. I mean, honestly, I would say that the TaylorMade and that Cobra would probably be a little bit higher on your list. I know they're the two that you can't pick up the ball with.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's just have faith that the ball's going to go in the hole.
That-
and
that's
I'll
the
have
big-
to,
and
if
you're-
it goes in the hole, you have to pick it up anyway.
There's that too. And when it comes to lengths, I'm probably going to steer you 35. Because you're a taller guy anyways, and with the back problem anyways, having you stand up on it a touch more, I'm a fan of.
So is that stock 35?
Correct, yep, 35. Like these, I would say 90% of my demos in here are 35 inches.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. The only reason I had the other one shorter is my buddy Mike, he had a shorter putter, and I was like, I'll try what you do, because he's got a really good short game, but it didn't help.
Oh yeah, and honestly speaking, for a long time, 34 was a very commonly fit for length. But you got to steer away from it whenever it comes to taller and or physical limitations.
Now, my other thing I don't like about these two is I'm back to my animals that I don't like. I got a cobra, which is a snake, right?
Cobra is a snake.
And then we got a spider, which...
We're here to conquer your fears, right? No 3-putts, no spiders, no snakes.
I've never understood why they named it after a snake or a spider. Out of all the animals in the world, like, you know, like a dolphin. That's like I saw a dolphin yesterday. I was walking, and they were like. I like both of these.
Yeah, buddy.
So I'm gonna sadly take this off the.
So we got two great options in there. I'm happy either way, genuinely speaking. They both do look fairly similar. Maybe this guy's a touch smaller in head size. It's gonna be if this is the hardest decision you've made today, it's been a good day. And tell you what, and here's the fun thing too, is that we'll do the face balance thing, or the toe hang measurement, ready? Pop these right up there. They do sit essentially with the same amount of toe hang to each other. Identical, and then reference to his old putter.
And is that grip identical, that super stroke?
They are fairly close to each other. The TaylorMade does have a slightly bigger grip on it, but again, we can kind of adjust that if we need to. But the fact that they are both mallets or squares, face balanced in their nature as well.
I feel like I pulled that. I don't know if that was me or the putter.
There you go. Stroke looks good with that too, though. Stroke looks really good with that too, though.
Yeah, I like this. And what are the price points between the two?
So let me find out officially real quick. I'll be back in just a second.
Which one do you like better?
Just from watching you, you have not every single one you fit with the spider has gone in since you've been here.
And
I noticed that.
And you think for like YouTube when you're filming it, do you think it looks cool with like the black and white?
I think it looks really cool, and also too, I mean, I feel like you've liked a lot of your other Scotty Cameron stuff.
Now here's the good news, Paul. They're the same price to each other.
Same price?
$349.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Now you are spending more time with that one though. Freud would say that's the one.
What do you think?
To be honest with you, I really like the Spider for the face, but also it's counterbalanced. And essentially what that means is, you see how the grip is a little longer? There's usually just a little bit more weight up here to help out with stability in the putting stroke. So you do have a lot going on with both of them, but you do have just a little bit more going on with this for the same price.
So I'll let both of you make a vote, and then I'll have the final vote.
Oh, okay.
I vote this one personally.
I vote the Spider.
It's 2-1, so. but I'm gonna go with the TaylorMade then. I'm gonna trust you guys.
Well, either way, I'm gonna print out a spec sheet for you, so you have that, right? I'll price it out so you know what that looks like. If you want to get it, great. If not, either way, you're gonna have
No,
my
I'm gonna
card
get it.
and all that stuff.
Yeah,
too.
I get to walk out of it here with it, right?
We can make that happen.
If we can make that happen, I'll get this one. The only thing I don't like about it is like that Spider logo and the name Spider.
Grab that head cover.
Here we go.
That's it.
My new putter.
All right, give it the Dave Portnoy pizza review.
Because of the name, I'm gonna deduct you 1. And because you can't give a flat rookie score, would be like a 9 or 8 or 7. So I'm gonna go 8.8, like a tight end, 88, 8.8. We'll see if it gets my game better. And also, if you've been enjoying the content and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, one of the best ways that you can support what we're doing on this journey of trying to become a scratch golfer and documenting the journey is subscribing to the channel. So please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate that.
I'm gonna give you this folder where you have build specifications showing the TaylorMade Spider Tour Counterbalance Black. Again, it's a putter, so it has a stock shaft and grip. It's 35 inches, and before you leave here, I'm just gonna tweak it to the 71 degrees of lie and 2 degrees of loft, which we can do right there on the machine. So that way you have the right angles in that putter. Yes, sir.
If somebody wants to come to Bradenton, Florida, how can they get a fitting with you, Dominic?
I'll go to clubchampion.com, go to the Bradenton location, or at any one of our 130 locations. We have several international as well. But you go on the website and call the number. It's like buying a movie ticket.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're great. So
Thank you so much.
let's go.
Clubchampion.com, baby.
Yeah, thank you, Club
Yes,
Champion.
sir.
All right, so we are official. I got my little putter cover, and the final price was $374.49. I'm down here in Florida. And then this is the putter. So I'm super pumped up. I was making the putts in here. We'll see if I can go out and make them on the golf course. If you want to follow along for the journey and support the channel, please subscribe, and we'll hope to catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.